This is Elizabeth Potts-Weinstein, and I wanted to explain to you today a question we get here at Lynn Ray Designs on a regular basis, which is what's the difference between a static and dynamic websites? Before I go into what's the difference between how they actually work behind the scenes and how it works for you as the business owner, I want to just show you some of static sites, some dynamic sites, so you can see what they look like from the user's perspective. Okay, here is a static website. Let's go back to the home page. This is a Fabienne Fredrickson. Her static site is her main website. It's got all kinds of different pages on the site. Here has in the sidebar has a menu. You've seen a zillion sites like this before. Here's another example of a static website. This is a freestanding page to sign up for a teleclass that I'm doing. One freestanding page. Let me show you some dynamic websites. Here is my main website, elizabethpottsweinstein.com. And you can see this does have a blog on it, but it's got a whole bunch of other pages that you may have on a site that you have, contact, about us, coaching, speaking, etc. Here's the site for Lynn Ray Designs. This is a dynamically generated website. Here's some other fun ones. Ford Motor Company's auto show website, which is actually based on WordPress. Facebook is a dynamically generated website. CNN.com, Amazon.com. Actually, most of the websites that you interact with on a regular basis are dynamically generated websites. The static websites are less and less and less. So why is that? Why are people moving towards having, for the most part, dynamic websites? What's the actual difference? Well, for a static website, so for like Fabienne's current website, the code and the text for each page is written out separately. So for each page on her site, like for example, the interview with Fabienne page, there's a file somewhere that's interview.htm where all this is laid out, both the code for how it looks as well as the text. It's actually typed out all in one document. That is saved. That page is saved on the server. Just how it looks here is saved on the server. So that's what displayed. Now, if Fabienne's decided, hey, you know what? I don't want to call this page Interview with Fabienne. I want to call it FAQ. And she doesn't want to change it just up here. She actually wants to change it over here in the sidebar. What that means is her web designer has to go into every single page on her site and change the sidebar menu of every single page so this Interview with Fabienne shows up as FAQs. So how's a dynamic website different? A dynamic website doesn't actually exist anywhere. Okay? This is one of the kind of cool things. There's no one file somewhere that has both the look and the feel and the text and the pictures all coded, typed out on a server. That doesn't actually exist anywhere at all. What happens is that the look and feel, the layout of the page is saved over here in a file. But in another place, actually in a database, in a table, set of tables, is all the content, the text and the photos and all that stuff. So what happens is when a user wants to see that page, when a user goes and clicks on my About page, okay, on my website, that page is then created by my server. It didn't exist until right when I clicked on it. And the server said, okay, I know that you want this part to be blue and this part to be light blue and da-da-da, and you want me to pull this file to make the graphic, and you want me to pull this text over here to make this middle part, you want me to pull this other text over here. Like, it's creating it on the fly. So it sounds like, kind of complicated and a lot of work. But really, the servers know how to do this, okay? So it is not a lot of work on your behalf. Now, it does take a little bit more, an infinitesimally amount, a little bit more time for the server to create that site, that page. And it does mean the server has to actually do something. It actually has to think as opposed to a static website. but it means you have so much more that you can do on your end, and so much more simple to make changes. Because on my site, let's say instead of calling this about, I wanted to call this about me, which is kind of bizarre, but let's say I wanted to call it about me, and I wanted to show up, be about me on the top in the menu of every single page. Well, I don't have to go in to every single page. Let me show you what I'd actually have to do. This is the back end of my site. I don't have to go to my web designer. I don't have to go to hire someone to change it. This is something I can totally do myself. I can go to my back end, and once I've learned how to use this, which is totally easy, anybody can use this, I literally would just type about me. Kabam! And if I hit update page, it would be updated everywhere on my site the next time someone clicked on it. So really, the difference between a dynamic and a static website from the user's perspective is they might not even know the difference. But from your perspective, it is a great way for you to get tons more power and versatility out of your website and actually end up saving money at the end, because you're not going to have to hire a web designer every time you want to make changes. And you're going to be able to put tons more content and have so much more functionality on your site and actually have it cost a lot less. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, this is Elizabeth Potts-Weinstein of Linneray Designs, and look forward to upcoming videos. If you've got any other questions you'd like us to answer, please let us know. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.